Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of The JG Show. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited to be here for another wonderful season with you guys. I cannot wait. Season 1 was incredible. We had so many great interviews. We talked to amazing people, and now we are back to do the exact same thing again and talk to more amazing people. In this show, we are going to be catching up with our first guest ever from the JG Show. He is a graduate from the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. He has been in numerous JG spectaculars, as well as very recently JG's Christmas comeback. And he just finished a residency in Toledo, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the JG Show, Alex Rotundo. Welcome, Alex.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
It's a total honor to have you here. I am so excited to have you back in our studio.
Likewise, great to be back.
It is. It feels great to be back, and thank you for being here.
No problem.
So, before we get started, obviously, if you have listened to the JG Show prior, you know a little bit about my buddy Alex here. But for the people that haven't listened or, are new to this show, please, Alex, please tell us a little bit about yourself again.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I got my master's degree this past, actually a year ago from the SF Conservatory, and I got my degree in composition, and I actually started composing when I was 5, after I started taking piano lessons around that time, because my teacher back then would give me these theory exercises, and from there I picked up composition skills. And I started just writing my own music and getting distracted from the assignments. And when my parents discovered me doing that, they bought me composition software. And then I started continuing both piano and composition. And I was also active as a string player on violin and jazz bass up until high school.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and after that, I decided to go to the Peabody Conservatory for my undergraduate studies right after graduating high school. And then I did my master's at the San Francisco Conservatory. Even though both at Peabody and at SCM, I was very active on the side as a clarinet pianist in addition to my composition major. And my first job out of school was, as I mentioned, in Toledo, Ohio, where I was pianist for the Artist in Residence program at Toledo Opera. And there, I just had the revelatory experience of working with these amazing singers, mostly from the East Coast and the Midwest. And together, we did some outreach shows around Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. And I got to play in the pit for the company's production of Tosca, an opera by the romantic Italian composer Giacomo Puccini. And I got to run super titles for the company's South Pacific production. And in addition to that, we also toured it in elementary schools throughout Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. And it was just a really nice experience to get to bring music to elementary school kids. And
sounds like it.
Yeah. Most of them, I guess, hadn't even encountered classical music before. So it was a really great experience to bring music to these kids. So, yeah.
That is awesome, dude. I mean, that sounds like a really, really wonderful adventure.
Thank you.
That you just had there. I mean, I'm so proud of you, dude. I really am.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Speaking of your experience in Toledo, Ohio, a little more about that. What was your favorite part of your residency in Toledo? What was your favorite part of what you've done this last year?
Well, definitely getting to play in the pit for Tosca was high up there, but I really loved doing these outreach shows, mostly in front of the Wildwood Manor House in Toledo, where I performed, I accompanied the singers in opera arias from the repertoire. And I just learned so much from that. I learned so much from the opera repertoire just from doing these outreach shows where the singers would give me these opera arias that they had done before, but some of which I didn't even know about. So it was just a really good learning experience to do that.
That's incredible. I mean, honestly, dude, that is just incredible.
Thank you.
I mean, it's awesome. I've honestly, like, I've been watching your socials since you've been gone. I've been watching like some of the videos you put up. I really loved when you guys, I love like when you first got there, you had played, I think it was God Bless America on the piano.
Yeah. Well, we did do God Bless America, even though I'm not sure if there's a video of that. We did that at an outreach show, but
I saw a picture. I saw something for it.
Yeah, it was the Star Spangled Banner, I believe. Because,
that's what it was.
Yeah, because
that's right.
On 9/11.
It was 9/11.
Yeah, like it was the morning right before we were about going to do a show on that day, and like to commemorate the occasion, the company asked us to record the Star Spangled Banner. And we also, as I mentioned, we did an outreach show that evening in front of the Wildwood Manor House. It was actually our first outreach show that we did as part of a residency.
Really?
Yes, and we also performed. We opened with the Star Spangled Banner, and we ended with God Bless America.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you. Obviously, you have spent the majority of your time in Toledo since I last saw you here on our show. But I will ask, since the last time that you were here, is there anything else that you've been up to that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, yeah. So the company did give all of us a break from Thanksgiving to late January. Of course,
that's right.
You know firsthand because I played on your spectacular during that time.
Yeah, he was in the Christmas comeback.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. You absolutely killed.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely killed the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy again.
Oh, thanks.
And everybody loved our collaborative performance of when I did Oh Holy Night.
Yeah.
You backed me on the piano. People, not to be a show off, but people will still talk about that one.
Oh.
My mom especially loved it.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, and also in January, I got the chance to page turn at the San Francisco Symphony because this Icelandic pianist named Víkingur Olafsson came to San Francisco to perform the world premiere of this new piano concerto by John Adams.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. John Adams is actually, I think, the most performed living composer worldwide right now.
Yeah, I know who he is. He's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
He's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and I got, apparently, the pianist put a last-minute request for page turner, and they put out the word to the conservatory, and someone put my name forward. And it was the day before the first rehearsal started. And of course, apologies for that because I know that we were supposed to meet up that week, but I had to cancel it because it like conflict directly. So, but however, it was a really great experience to get to know Víkingur, especially 2 weeks before he won the Grammy for Best Classical Instrumental Performance for his recording of the Bach Goldberg.
Yes, I saw that.
Variations.
That's awesome.
I know, yeah.
So you got to do that 2 weeks before the Grammys.
Yes. Yeah, especially that. And it was also a revelation to get to learn firsthand and be the part of the world premiere of John Adams' newest piece, and also to get to meet him and have long conversations with him. And that was just really fun to do. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm also a composer myself. Things have been going well on that front too. I got a new song cycle premiere in Toronto 2 months ago by actually an old friend from Peabody who was booked to do a recital at Trinity St. Paul's United Church over there. And he asked me to write a song cycle for him. I wrote a piece. So basically, I have several books of 19th century poetry, and one of which is this collection of Oscar Wilde. Because during my sophomore year at Peabody, I ended up taking a class on his work, and I was really enthralled by it. I knew that I had to incorporate his work somehow, and so I have done many settings of his poetry. Most recently, the song that was premiered in Toronto, where I took some of his poetry as well as a poem by Emily Bronte, and I created this imaginary 24-hour journey across the Mediterranean, and they said all this poetry that traced this imaginary story, and got a hugely successful premiere. If anyone's interested in listening, it is on my YouTube channel. Just Google Alex Rotundo, and you'll find it, and it'll be it's the most recent thing, of course. So it's the first one.
Definitely check that out.
Yeah, thank you.
We will definitely check that out, and I urge you, our fans, to do the same as well.
Yeah.
His stuff is absolutely incredible.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
I've never, yeah, you're welcome. I have to say, I've never ever been to the symphony myself, but I need to get to a show at some point.
Yeah, they have their
I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, they have a new season on their website. They're kind of at a turning point right now because their music director, Esapek Salonen, actually resigned. He's doing his last concerts at the symphony actually this week.
Really?
Yeah, because he had a very public fallout with the board over there. Like they weren't willing to fund anything that he wanted to do. So
that sucks.
Yeah. So of course he just decided to leave, and
understandably,
yes. But they are doing a season. It'll be like the first season without a music director. So of course I wish him the best. But
that's crazy. Like wait, like the first season ever without a music director?
I think that they may have had some grace periods. But
maybe. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while until it's since the 1980s at least, actually.
Oh wow, okay, that's a long time.
Yeah, but
it's been like 40 years.
Yeah, well, I hope that they're able to find a replacement for him soon. But
yeah, me too.
See. Yeah,
well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah.
So now I have to ask you, now that your residency in Toledo is finished and you've been home for about a month now, I have to ask you, Alex, what is next for you?
So I actually started a new job 2 days ago. So I'm now
nice.
Thank you. I'm now working as music director for the Good Table United Church of Christ. It's located in the city of El Sobrante. It's
nice.
In the East Bay, about I think 10 miles north of Oakland, I think.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I know where El Sobrante is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I had my first service with them 2 days ago. I got to play like the second movement of the Beethoven Moonlight Sonata to open the service, and then I accompanied the pastor on a solo. She's actually amazing at singing. She actually has a degree from Rice University in opera. So
really,
yeah. So we've been able to connect really deeply because of that, actually, and then I also accompanied the church congregation in singing they were singing some hymnals while I played, and then at the pastor's request I actually performed some piano preludes that I composed while I was at Peabody. So it's just really refreshing to be in an environment where like my compositional activity, my prime interest is supported. So it's I really love it over there, and I'm looking forward to more.
That is incredible, man. I mean, now, and what you just said is everything. It's that you're in a place where you can do what you want to do, and they accept that. I mean, that in itself, man, is beautiful.
Thank you.
It just is. I mean, that's the most beautiful outcome of everything. And I mean, honestly, like when I found out that you got that job, I kind of just screamed with joy. I was so happy for you.
Oh, wow. I appreciate it.
Wow. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
So I was hoping that you would land something like that where you're doing what you really want to do. And that is incredible.
Thank you.
I'll have to come to a service sometime.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To come watch you do your thing. That piano that they posted that you're in front of, oh my gosh, that thing looks freaking beautiful.
I know, right? Yeah, it sounds great too.
That Kawai, I mean, cool. That Kawai is an incredible brand.
Yes.
Incredible brand.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, those pianos are something else. I've seen those a couple times, and they're nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must sound beautiful.
Thank you.
So, now I have to ask you, Alex, if somebody was watching this show, to all the musicians and the pianists and composers that are watching or listening to this show right now, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah, just follow your passion most, and just follow wherever your interest takes you, because of course so many people think of this binary route of like, oh, I want to be a violinist in an orchestra, I want to or like for example, I want to sing at the world's greatest opera houses, but of course you might find equal fulfillment like working in arts admin and also writing music, and also as what I'm doing, just like playing a piano, doing all this accompanying work while also pursuing my primary interest in composition, which is where my primary pedigree is, since I have a master's degree in it. But of course, what you do in life, it doesn't always have to like be what you have to do a degree in. Always like follow your interests, follow your passions, just to keep yourself eclectic, you know. Yeah, but just don't follow like the binary route.
I couldn't agree more with that statement. That's everything. Follow your dreams, follow your passions. And, you know, exactly what you said. I think honestly, dude, like more people need to hear that. Everybody thinks that there's really only one or two routes to success.
Yeah.
And you know what? In today's day and age, that's just not true. Yeah. There's many ways. It's not really about how you get there. It's if you get there, and there's many, many ways to get there, and there's many opportunities.
Right.
And I feel like there's so many people that unfortunately don't exactly see that or realize that, and they lose hope really quickly. And, you know, I hope that for all of you watching that are, you know, struggling right now or anything, that both of us here can be a beacon of hope for you, because, you know, it's really... What really matters more than anything is if you're happy with what you're doing at the end of the day.
Right.
Because if you're not happy, then that's not good. It just isn't.
Yeah, like it'll lead to like self-destruction sooner or later.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It will lead to self-destruction. It can lead to burnout. It can lead to depression, all kinds of stuff. It's important to have a balance and to do what you love. You know, honestly, Alex, I've been in that position myself. I mean, I've been there. Yeah. I've been in positions where, you know, I haven't been happy with what I've been doing. But the only person that can change that is you. And that's what I did. I changed it, and now I'm doing things like this, and I'm happy as a clam. So
nice. That's good. Good for you.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Alex. And I'm really, really happy for you, too.
Thank you.
So I have to ask you, as the host of the show, you know, I'm the host. This is the JG show. Is there anything that you would like to ask me as the host?
I'm sure. Absolutely. So, of course, you're on with your upcoming spectaculars, and you're getting the JG show restarted.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask you, what else is in your plans?
What else are in my plans? Well, for right now, first and foremost, it's what you said. The JG show is back. What I didn't tell you, our viewers, the JG Spectacular is officially back as well. We will be having our next show in early August as of now. Besides that, what else is in my plans, to answer your question? I've got another album coming on the way. Well, the second half to my Revival album. If you don't know, I dropped Revival Part 1 in October of 2024. And we will have Revival Part 2 on the way in July. After that, after my next spectacular, I'll be having another one at Christmas time in December, as per the usual. And we will have an original Christmas song this year and a few other things, and I will be doing some other performances. I have a performance at the Guitar Center's quarterly recital in the Hillsdale Mall on Friday, June 27th. It's going to be sometime in the evening. My next performance after that, as of now, will be at Bobby D's Cocktail Bar on Monday, July 21st. And it's an open mic. And that will be around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. And then after that will be my spectacular. And then my performances at Bobby D's typically, for the most part, are a monthly thing. Typically, they happen every month on the third Monday of the month. So I'll be doing it in September, October, and November as well.
Cool.
Yup. Yeah, thanks, man. So, speaking of the spectacular, you will likely be in our upcoming spectacular as long as, you know, the dates work out. I have to ask you, how excited are you for this?
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad to see you off the ground with this stuff again.
I appreciate it. Honestly, Alex, I have to admit, no one really knows this, but you were one of my biggest inspirations, and you were one of the most instrumental figures in making sure I brought this back, to be honest.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Because I will be honest with you, Alex, when I know I did the Christmas comeback last year, and honestly, that was kind of, in a way, Joey Guden's Christmas comeback essentially really just was a rebranded Spectacular. So the point is, it was a lot like the Spectacular, and it was in that moment where I just decided, you know what, it's time to just come back for real now. Because what I'll admit, what part of it is, why I'm bringing it back is because, honestly, people just seem to forget about it. And I mean that in a good way. What I mean is that when I stopped officially doing the Spectaculars back in 2022, I have to be honest with you. I never was honest about how I truly felt about it, but I didn't feel good about ending it at all, to be honest. I'll admit, I kind of was forced to end it because there was a lot of drama behind it at one point in 2022. And the tension behind the scenes with the cast and crews had escalated so much that, unfortunately, the only way to stop it and kind of restore peace and sanity in my life was to make the decision that I made.
I see.
So it was hard. I'll admit it was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're back now.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to be back. And, I think as times went on and I've had some time to breathe, so to speak, I realized, why am I going to let some idiots like that stop me from doing what I love?
Yeah.
And, I'll never forget back in 2023, you and I we went downtown one night and we had dinner.
Yeah.
And I remember you and I had a very empowering heart-to-heart talk that evening. And I'll never forget that conversation we had up at Sapore Italiano.
Yeah.
And it was, you were talking to me and trying to help me out, and I could see it because I'll admit I was in a pretty dark place at the time. And so I just want to actually thank you for that, honestly, because it was one of the things that led me to bringing this back.
I'm glad I could help. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Even though in the moment it seemed like I didn't really, in the moment it may have seemed like I didn't want to hear what you were saying, but that was just because of the position I was in. That had nothing to do with you.
I understand.
But looking back though, I needed that conversation more than ever. So I appreciate it.
No problem.
So yeah, thanks again. I have to ask you before we go, do you have outside, obviously, music is my life and music is your life as well, but I have to ask you, outside of this, do you have any other special hobbies or interests that you don't really no one really knows all too much about?
Yeah, I tend to follow politics a lot because in high school, we started looking at current events during sophomore year history class. I just okay,
cool.
I just really got inspired to just follow what's going on and just to be informed and also to vote in elections. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And also, one of my dreams is to write an opera one day. We'll see how that can tie into it, especially since a lot of the hottest operas premiering right now tend to be based on current social events. I was actually at one a few days ago. I went to see the Opera Parallel production. That's actually a San Francisco-based company mostly doing contemporary opera. They did this opera about Harvey Milk, and I joined a group of FCM friends in the audience, and there were some amazing people from the voice department at the school actually in the cast and chorus, so that was really revelatory to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I hope to do something maybe along those lines, but I'll find a librettist that I'll at least try to find a librettist that can help me with that, and of course a company willing to take a chance on me on this. So yeah,
that's incredible. Speaking of Harvey Milk, I remember from what my mom has told me, they actually, back in his day, they used to carry him in the streets, believe it or not.
Yeah, the opera was all about people both lionizing him and of course hating him for who he was. Yeah, and unfortunately the opera ends pretty much with his assassination, so yeah.
That's crazy. Well, anyways, Alex, I want to thank you so much for coming back for another show with us.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Anytime. Definitely feel free to come back to our show anytime you feel like it. We're always here. We'll always be here. And for all of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching or listening, whatever you're doing. We are officially a video podcast now, and I don't see us really ever going back at this point. Unless I get someone on that doesn't feel comfortable being on camera, which that's understandable. If I get somebody that's uncomfortable being on camera, then we will do an audio-only show because I like to interview everybody. But other than that, we're here. We're here to stay, and I'm back. We're back, and I want to thank all of you for watching. This is Season 2, Episode 1, or Episode 8 overall. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at JG Show Official, on Facebook at The JG Show, or jgshowofficial@gmail.com if you want to contact us to be on the show. We are always looking for guests. We are welcoming anybody and everybody here. So if you feel like you've got a story to tell us, don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here. We're always looking for guests. Like you, Alex. And so, yeah, thank you everybody for watching. This is the JG Show Season 2. Until next time, everyone.